Hello violinists, this is Henriette here from Pro Strings, and this is lesson 47 in the violin class for beginners. And in this lesson today we are practicing number 72 in the red book on page 30, and the same song as number 98 if you have a green book, 98 on page 23. So in this lesson today we're building on what we have practiced in lesson 46. So if you haven't yet had a look at that, I would suggest that you practice lesson 46 first. And now we're going to just develop our fourth finger a little bit further. So let's go ahead and let me play this for you. This tune is really mellow and it's really sort of meandering around a little bit, and a very useful exercise for that fourth finger again. So what we're going to practice here first of all is that we're playing in 3/4 time. So your counting always goes 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and for the crotchet notes I'd like you to use the whole bow. And you can probably tell that 2 quaver notes or 2 eighth notes slurred is also together a whole bow. So you're using the same sort of floaty bow all the time, except for of course the last bar where you've got 1 and 2 and 3 and is your counting, the last bar. The first 2 of which are slurred, so they use a whole bow, and then you go half a bow on the single quavers or eighth notes. So will you join me? I'll count us in 1, 2, 3 and so you can hear the rhythm right from the start, and the finger pattern is the G major finger pattern with the second fingers close to the first fingers. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 and... Well done. Mind that this last note here is a 3 count note. So you hold it for 1, 2, 3. So suddenly on this last note, your bow travels a lot less fast because you hold it for 3 counts rather than the 1 count that we've done all along in this piece. Excellent. Now we're going to try something new. We have discussed this in the past, but perhaps not practiced it as much as we're going to do today. Take a look at bar 2. And in bar 2 we play 0 finger, so an open A string, and then 2. So we go A2. And what I'd like you to do is to play A1, 2. So add your first finger to that second finger. So you put down 2 fingers at the same time, because we've always said Do not leave only one finger on the string if you can avoid it, you see. So that's a big no-no. You want to go, have both fingers on the string. So rather than going A2 with your first finger sticking up, you want to go A1, 2. Now there are other instances, for instance bar 3, where you've got 1. Can you see that my second finger is going down at the same time? So I'm not playing 1, 3 and have the second finger up. No, that is not good. We're playing 1 and both fingers go down. Now let's have a look at the 4th bar, where we've got 2, 4. Can you see? I've got 2, 3, 4. In fact, here I've got all 4 fingers on the string, you see. So wherever you can, try to avoid lifting up individual fingers, but bring them down onto the string with the other fingers if you possibly can. So what we're going to do on our next playing is slow things down. And you've heard me say this many times if you've been following my videos a little bit. We always say slow things down because then you can sort out and play with a proper technique. That feels like it's taking a little bit more time right now, but actually in the long run it's going to be much faster, because when you get into a habit of leaving those fingers down right now, it's going to help you for years to come when the music gets a little bit more complicated, you see. If that's already a good habit embedded in your playing, we'll go slowly from the start. 1, 2, 3, and. So here's my first thing. I'm not playing 4, 3 right there, but I'm playing 3, 4, 3. Can you see that? Start again and. 2 fingers down now. 3 fingers down now. 2 fingers together. Let's hold it here a moment, because this is an interesting spot as well. This is the start of my second line. I'm playing 2, 4, 3, 2, 3, 1. And when I'm playing 2, 4, my first finger is also on the string, look. So I've got all my fingers down, and then I'm playing 3, 2, and I've still got all my fingers down, 3 fingers down. You see how I use the same fingers again. Shall we practice that again? So this is the second line. We're starting on the second finger here, but we're having the first and second fingers down. Here we go, and. That is awesome practice. Now, at first that's really difficult to do, but please don't let me put you off. Of course, there are moments of practicing and moments of just playing for fun. And what we're doing now is intense technique practice. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you play in other pieces and in places you forget to put your fingers down together. Over time though, when you keep practicing this technique, it will incorporate in your playing, and that's what we're after, isn't it? So keep it going. And you're doing great, because this is not as easy, sort of reading, literally reading between the lines, trying to find places where you can put more than one finger down on the string. Have you noticed also that I'm bringing my fourth finger round as we did in our previous lesson? So especially when I'm going down to a fourth finger, for instance in the first bar, when you've got this, bring that fourth finger ready to play round onto the D string. Shall we just practice that first bar a few times? And here we go. Bring your elbow under. Do that again. Bring that elbow under. And then we can't really practice that same technique again until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In bar 5, you see, you play on the E string and then you bring your elbow round towards the fourth finger on A. So let's practice bar 5. Here we go. And can you see the steering there? Do it again. Bar 5 and there we go. Shall we practice it one more time? That's really good. Now, let's think about your left thumb now. Because what you want to do is bring that left thumb so that it is upright. It's not leaning that way. And you can perhaps see what happens. If my thumb comes up, it pushes my wrist out. If my thumb leans back, my wrist comes like this. And this way we can't really get that pinky to go round, you see. So bring your wrist out like that by bringing your left thumb upright like that, you see. Officially, your thumb needs to be in between the first and second fingers. There is a lot of variation amongst individual players, but your thumb is not allowed to go on this side of your index finger, and neither is it allowed to go on that side opposite your second finger, you see. So it's somewhere in this area. And perhaps you'd just like to check with me where your thumb is. Whilst we're doing that, that's our last thing that we'll practice today. We're just going to go one more time. And we're going to stop at the end of line 1 because we want to refocus and make sure that our thumb is still in the right place. After 3. 1, 2, 3, and... Hold it here a moment, check over your thumb, has it sneakily gone back? Then let's hoist it back up again. Second line, and... Sorry, I just couldn't resist that there, because you can of course check that last note with your open string. And this way gradually we're integrating all the techniques that you've learned over 47 lessons into one, so you get an all-round technique. And aren't you doing great, developing every aspect of your playing? I'm really well pleased with your progress, so thank you very much for watching, and I very much look forward to seeing you again in the next lesson. Goodbye.